I'm going to make a recipe. I'm making two in separate videos. So the first one I'm doing is vegan pulled pork. What a strange name for a recipe, but it's amazing. And it's a inverted commas pulled pork. There's no pork in it. It's a vegan recipe. It's taken out of this beautiful book. It's just been released, and I'll tell you about that more in a minute because we need to get the recipe started. So the first part of this recipe is adding some oil. We're going to cook onions. So we're going to add 20 grams of oil. And as I always say, we weigh in 1 gram with this Thermomix. So if you find you're at 19, just pull back and stop there. You're winning. Oh, 20, spot on. Okay, and 100 grams of onions, cut in halves and then into slices. So that's what I've got. I think it could be slightly more than 100. I didn't want to just waste that little bit of onion, so I added that into, the spices. That's what goes next. So we're putting in one teaspoon of paprika. The flavour is going to be amazing in this. A half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon, or a bit more if you like chili, that's okay. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and again, more if you like garlic. You can alter the seasonings, is absolutely okay. 1/8 of a teaspoon of cumin, 1/8, that's not much. Oh, that might be, whoops, a little bit extra, but not too much. So without the measure cup, so it's going to be needing to release some fluid and some moisture. So it's on speed soft. It goes for 10 minutes on 120 on reverse. So it's just very gently cooking those onions in the oil with the spices and making them fragrant. So speed soft is the speed that you see a spoon with a little circle around it, and the Thermomix is moving around the blade at its slowest, which is 40 revolutions a minute. I often put it out to people, do they know the fastest? And people say, 4,000, 5,000. It's actually 10,700 per minute revolutions. That's powerful. That's amazing. That's the Thermomix and German technology. Very clever. Now, I know that there's no meat in this recipe. What the meat, or the pork in inverted commas, is actually banana peel. Can you believe it? Banana peel. And I've got some ready, except for this one piece. I wanted to show you what you need to do. The recipe will tell you. So you can actually, you know that you can do preview on your Thermomix. You select the dots, open preview, and then you can see while that's happening, you get your banana prepared. So we've got our banana peels, and I've got one bit left just to show you. So what you need to do is scrape off the white part that's left. That's the remnants of the flesh of the banana. So you scrape that off, comes off very easily with a spoon. And of course this new book is all about not wasting anything. So this is going into the compost. I did scrape some earlier and notice that it does change colour. That's okay. So it's going to sit and go out into our compost. I think my next purchase from the mix shop will be the kitchen compost bin, which I've been eyeing off for a while. It's one of the only things I haven't bought yet, but that's probably what I'll be going after next. Now I'm going to use a fork because it says to scrape along that one piece of banana peel at a time and make tracks. How clever. Whoever thinks of these ideas? So you can see my banana peel has tracks and lines. So the next step is to cut down those lines. Now, I'm showing off here. I've got our brand new cleaver. This is such an awesome knife. It's very sharp. It cuts through things beautifully. It's got a great edge. It's solid. It's just a fabulous knife. I believe it's around a sort of a Japanese knife design. Okay, so what you use is the cleaver or a sharp knife just to follow the tracks of the banana peel and make little strips. Easy done. This is so easy to do. Who would ever think of using banana peels and calling it vegan pulled pork? Thermomix, of course, they come up with these crazy recipes and they're great. So the next step, I've done that. So you can see I've got about 5 little pieces of banana peel, and then you cut into 3 centimetre pieces. And that was about 2 bananas, that's all. Now, I've got the bananas here. It's usually the bananas I'm using in a banana cake, and my favourite is cafe style banana cake. Look that one up and try it. You won't go to a cafe for banana bread anymore, ever, because you'll make it at home. It's probably where those, actually no, those bananas will go in the freezer, because we are going away in the morning. We're going on a mystery flight, and we're not sure where, but we'll be away for 3 days, so that banana needs to be frozen. No banana bread tonight. Okay, so let's have a look and go back. When you use preview, you can just go back to exactly where you are in the recipe. All right, so we've got 5 minutes, which is great. I love how Thermomix gives you time to go and do things while it's cooking. But I'm not going to go and do things now because I want to keep you just engaged for a few more minutes. So what I'll do is show you this book a little bit. Now, at the moment, they've given us 13 recipes from the book on cookie dough. So go and look in your collections. If you're not sure how to find your collections, you go swipe into cookie dough, look up at recipes, and drop down the little green arrow next to the word recipes, and it will give you collections. So that's where you're going to find like either cookbooks or little groups of recipes that are kind of themed. Now, this is a cookbook, so it's called Less Waste, More Food, Less Waste. You know, we're not wasting our banana peels. More food with Thermomix. Now, normally, often I'd say, look, all the recipes are coming through on cookie dough, but this is a book I would consider purchasing because, you know, when the recipes come through, eventually they'll all be on cookie dough. We've got 13 at the moment. The recipes come through, fantastic, we can cook them. But before the recipes even start in this book, we're up to about page 27, I think, 28. And the first 28 pages is a really good resource. It's going to tell you things about, you know, decking out your low waste kitchen, getting prepared to be a kitchen that has minimal waste. It's going to teach you how to make beeswax wraps. I just saw that. It's going to suggest the things that you'll have in your pantry, you know, to be a whole food, no waste cook. It's going to teach you how to compost, how to do it properly. Get that composting happening so you've got that beautiful soil to nourish your veggie and herb garden, which is also covered in this book. You know, the Thermomix takes you on a journey. I have been on the journey 10 years now. It takes you on a journey of, you know, just changing the way you do things. I've changed a lot in 10 years as to where I was. I was very much throwing packets into my supermarket trolley and not thinking too much about it. But these days I do think about it, and I think about what I can make rather than buy. There's so much you can make when you've got one of these babies in your kitchen, or 2. I've got 2. I've got more than that, but they go out visiting other kitchens. So if you ever want to test run a TM6, give me a call. I'm happy to give you a week of cooking with a TM6, and you can just see what it's all about. So I've got 3 out at the moment. I like them to go out when we go away so they're not being used, and any other time too. So here's some. The power of the pantry, the key to a healthier, low-waste way of life. This isn't just a season, it's a way of life. There's a seasonal chart. You can't see that, I'm sure, but it covers all the months and the fruit and veggies that are in season in Australia during those months, and they're the months to buy them. Seeds and grains and nuts, how to store them, how to look after them, what to use them for and when to use them. So, as I said, there's huge amounts of information in this book, as well as some incredibly delicious recipes. People are actually raving about this book. Spices, how to combine spices, what are Thai combinations, what are Indian combinations of spices, Middle Eastern. I mean, who knows this stuff and who wants to know? I do. So this is going to be, this book probably will be a bit little rag-eared, dog-eared before long, because I've taken it a few times with a cup of tea to sit down and read. I'm not a big reader, unfortunately. I'd like to be, but cookbooks, give me a cookbook and I'll find a cozy corner with a cuppa and I'll be reading it. I'll be looking at recipes and learning. This is a resource book. So I believe it's $35. It comes with an online cooking class. So if you buy this book, you get a link to watch a class. So that's more teaching, and very, very good for you to do that. You'll come out with a whole new thinking, maybe, or you might be doing this already, but it will challenge you to look at how I can do better in the kitchen in the way of waste, how I can use the food I've got, because everything's so expensive at the moment as well. So we need to be really mindful of this stuff, and I couldn't think that this book could come out at a better time. All right, that's enough. Perfect. Okay, we prepared the banana peel. We used the fork. We did all of that. Now it's time to add them. Okay. Oh, if you could smell, it smells like amazing. We've got onions with all those spices. It smells fabulous. So now we're adding the banana peel, which we've prepared. Little pieces of banana / pork, not really. So without the measure cup, what are we doing now? Okay, let's go through. Okay, did that. So we've added the banana peels without the measure cup. We're going for about 5 minutes on 120 of cooking. So let me tell you what the next steps are, because there's not many of them. So we're up to, if I preview, it's telling me we're up to step 14 of 17. So we're nearly done. So I'm just going to tell you what goes in next. We've got 30 grams of barbecue sauce. And of course, we have our own barbecue sauce recipe. Tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, passata, tomato paste. All of those are covered. Look for them, make your own. And you're going to have a healthier, know what's in it result. So we add the barbecue sauce without measure cup for 1.5 minutes. Oh, my little light just ran out of battery. That's okay. 1.5 minutes. It's going to mix and cook. And then it gets spooned into an airtight container and used as desired. So it says see tips. So just to take 1 more minute of your time, I'm going to use the 3 dots and go into recipe detail. So I'll just tell you what the tips are for this recipe. And by the way, I have not made this before. And it's common to be able to, I do this all the time, make something brand new and know that it's going to turn out. So the tips are, make your own barbecue sauce, of course. Cookie do the recipes there. Use this as a vegan or vegetarian option on sliders on a roll that you've made yourself. Toasties or wraps alongside cheese and crackers. Imagine having a cheese platter with crackers and handing it to your friend saying, this is vegan pulled pork. Wouldn't that start a conversation? Wow. Use the banana leftover flesh for banana oat clusters. Searching cookie dough for that recipe. So, you know, if I was going to be staying here over the next few days, that's probably what I do with these 2 bananas. So the pulled pork will keep in an airtight container in the fridge for up to 2 days. And I just realised that we would be going for 3 to 4 days. So Jeff and I might just have to have some tonight on a nice piece of toast and gobble it up. It'll be great. So back to the recipe. Still got 2 minutes. So those final steps are pretty easy and straightforward. So I'll finish now and I will post you a picture of the recipe. I'm going to pop this into my newsletter, which I'm hoping to get together before we go. And you'll get it probably in the next few days. So make this recipe. Send me a picture of what you've made. I'd love to see it. But anyway, thank you for considering to make this recipe, and also for knowing about, I'd love you to consider this cookbook because it's great. It's got so much good stuff in it. Alright, thanks guys, and I'll be online again soon. I've got one more recipe to make tonight, and that is a carrot top pesto, which I'm also going to put into the newsletter. Carrot tops, who would ever think you'd make pesto from carrot tops? Well, I'm about to. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon.